What is going on, guys? So I'm going to take you guys through a full day of eating today. Today is a high day, so this is the most amount of food that I'm eating on a day throughout the week right now. Meal number one is going to be protein pancakes. First things first is you're going to need a blender of your choice. You can use anything like a Ninja blender. I like to use a NutriBullet just because it's easy, it's compact to use. We'll put our container on there and we want to tare it so that it's zeroed out. What this is gonna do is, as soon as I take the container off, that's the weight of the container, but then we put it on, it's zeroed out, so whatever items we put in there, it's gonna show the weight of that item. So first things first is we have 300 grams of egg whites for our main source of protein. It's 127. And guys, right now, being in my off season, sometimes I'll eyeball stuff. So like for the banana, for example, I'm supposed to have 120 grams. I usually will just eyeball it with this. Like if it's 100 grams or 140, I'm not really too worried about that. In a prep setting, it's gonna be different because I like to be on the gram with everything. So yeah, it's 95. So we'll add some blueberries on top of the pancakes just to account for extra carbs. And now we have 50 grams of oats. I just like to use the quick oats. I get these from Costco. 42. All right. 50 grams there. Usually what I will have is 3 whole eggs in here, but I haven't been using eggs lately. I've been going with this ratio protein. These are amazing, guys, if you guys need quick protein. Creates a better consistency and it helps it not dry out as much. Now this you don't really have to weigh out because it's already in the container with the calorie amount, so don't pay attention to the number on the scale when you're putting this in the blender. Pumpkin, this is going to help it rise a little bit more and also keep the pancake again from not drying out. So now the pumpkin I put 60 grams in. You guys can do more or less depending again on your batch. This is for my macros and my needs with what I'm currently eating right now. So you guys might have again more or less of these ingredients. And the last thing is going to be baking powder. This is gonna help the pancake rise a little bit. Because again, guys, these are not normal pancakes. You know, it's not going to taste like a normal pancake, but they're still gonna taste pretty good. And especially if you guys have certain goals, whether you wanna lose weight, you wanna put on some muscle too. We have 1 scoop of whey. I'm going with the salted chocolate caramel from Jack Factory. So don't forget this. This is key for 1, more protein, but 2, also for the flavor of it. All right, now that all of your ingredients are blended, we need to heat up our pans. So I'm gonna be using 2 pans just so that we can expedite the process of the cooking. I like to put the heat to a medium. So depending on the number on your stove, I put it to around a 5 or 6. I completely load the pan up to the edge of it and then put the lid on top. Again, guys, these aren't like normal pancakes, so they're not gonna be, you know, super fluffy. Might be a little bit harder to flip. We're gonna give that a second. All right, guys, this pancake should be pretty much close to done. You can see all the bubbles that are throughout it. Again, this is how you can tell that it's pretty much cooked enough on one side for you to be able to flip it. Still a little bit liquidy on one side, but we'll try and, there you go. So I'll let this finish cooking, and then I have to check my meal plan to see if we have blueberries on top. Well, I'm gonna put some regardless just because we missed out on a little bit of the banana, and then I'll top it with my peanut butter and then some syrup and show you guys the finished product. Now that's all cut into the tiny squares. We're going to use our peanut butter. So again, put it on the scale. You wanna zero it out. So instead of trying to take it out of the jar and drizzle it over your food on the scale, just put the peanut butter jar on the scale so then you can tear it out like this, and it's gonna be a lot more accurate when you're weighing it out with your food. So we'll just toss a couple of these on there. I'm not gonna weigh these out either, you guys. There's some raspberries too. And then last thing will be the sugar-free syrup. Now, typically I'll use normal maple syrup in my off season, just it's extra carbs. But this is the only one we have right now, so we'll pick some more up at the store later. And this is great to use, again, you guys, in a contest prep as well, sugar-free syrup. It's only 10 calories per serving. But you have your protein pancakes. So we're on On our meal number 2 now, this is going to be our pre-workout meal. We have our authentic whey from Jack Factory, our nuts and more apple butter, peanut butter, and then we have our cream of rice as well. So we have 60 grams of the cream of rice. Now, this is a food that a lot of people cook incorrectly. So the way you guys need to do it, for 1 gram of the cream of rice, you want about 4 to 5 grams of water. So I have 60 grams cream of rice. I add in about 240 grams to 300 grams of water. I got to the point to where I can just eyeball it and I kind of know, but if you want to cook it properly, make sure it's 4 to 5 grams of water per 1 gram cream of rice. Fill it up in the sink. And then we're gonna put this in the microwave for about 3 to 4 minutes. You just want to watch it to make sure that it doesn't spill over in the microwave, because this will make a huge mess. Alrighty guys, so the cream of rice is done. And you're gonna see it's still a little bit runny, but the thing about this is it continues to cook itself when it's out of the microwave because of how hot it is. So one thing is you need to be very careful with it, because like I said, you can see it's a little bit runny, but once I add in my protein, it is going to take that runniness away just with mixing the powder together. So that's how it should start to be looking. And now if it's too runny, do not worry, because again, it will continue to cook. The thing is you can always add more water, but you can't take away. So if you're afraid of adding too much water, go with that 4 gram mark of water per cream of rice. And if you take it out and it's a little bit too dry, you can always add in more. You just can't take water out of it. But this is the consistency you should be looking for. It's thick, it's like oatmeal. But again, some people like it runnier. Some people like it to where it's literally like a brick. Now we have our banana to add in for our additional carbs. It's about 100 to 120 grams. Then we have our pink salt with cinnamon as well. Toss that on top. And the pink salt is mainly for hydration purposes, but it's also going to help us in the gym with our pump. And now we have to add our peanut butter. 28 grams worth of peanut butter, and that is the meal, you guys. 60 grams of cream of rice, about 120 grams of banana, 2 scoops of whey, 20 grams of peanut butter. We're gonna eat this and then jam out to the gym. Today we have back and chest. So we have 9 ounces of bison, 330 grams of rice. We have some pink salt on here. We're gonna warm this up, and then I also have some Rice Krispies, which I'll show you guys after we finish this. Especially when I was in prep, it was nice not having to eat cold food here, so able to warm it up, sit down, eat right after my workout, and then go on with my day. And guys, I'm supposed to have a bagel post-workout with jam, but I ran out of bagels, so we're improvising with 2 normal Rice Krispies and then one of the home style ones. If you guys haven't had these home style ones, they're better than the normal Rice Krispies. 3 of these with the meal, smash these, and then go get our haircut. We're back home from the gym. We have our 4th meal, which this is probably the most boring meal of the day. It's literally chicken, rice, and walnut oil. You can see there's that yellowish tint to it, which is from the chicken stock. So since that's warm, we'll put that on after our chicken, but we have our chicken already cooked and prepped from the air fryer. So we're gonna weigh out 9 ounces of that. I'll just put them into the container whole, and then when I'm ready for my meal, I just cut them with scissors into small bite-sized pieces. And the best way that I've cooked my chicken so far has been either air frying it or slow cooking it, because chicken's kind of one meat that if you start to cook it one way for an extended period of time and you eat it that same way, you're gonna get tired of it really quickly. So Try to diversify how you guys cook your chicken. You can air fry it, you can pan fry it, you can grill it, you can slow cook it, and you can shred it, which that to me is probably the easiest way to eat chicken, is just slow cooking it and then shredding it. You can get it down a lot faster than this. Perfect, we have our 9 ounces. We're gonna toss this in the microwave for about 1.5 minutes. Now that that is done, we're going to put our rice on. So I meant to do 275 rice, not 375. Perfect, and then we have this cold pressed walnut oil. I actually got this from Home Goods. I usually like to use macadamia nut oil, but walnut oil is pretty similar. I don't like to use normal olive oil. I prefer macadamia nut oil because it has omega 3s and 9s in it. I honestly don't know if walnut oil does. It just tastes good, that's all I know. So I do 17 grams of this on top. And then we'll have our 2 cracks of pink salt, sweet poppy sauce from Flavor Gang. That is it for meal 4. So we are finally at the last meal of the day, which is our 5th meal, and it's honestly pretty simple. Usually this meal will be oats with peanut butter and protein, but sometimes I will opt out for Rice Krispie treats just because they're a lot easier to eat. So we have 2 scoops of the salted caramel Jack Factory Whey, which we'll mix into a shaker, and then we just have 3 of the 90 calorie Rice Krispie treats. These are 17 grams of carbs a piece, so it's about 50 grams of carbs, 2 scoops of this. So close to 60 grams of carbs, about 50 protein, and 10 grams of fat. And that is it for the meal. And we'll do a total for you guys for the day of how much food I ate. There's also 75 grams of carbs I had intra-workout that I forgot to show you guys, but it was in the white bottle that I was drinking. So that was my full day of eating on a high day. Like I said, this right now is the highest amount of food I'll eat in a day. Usually on my high days, I'll do a cheat meal, but I'm honestly really not hungry for one, so that's why I didn't do one today. But we will film another one eventually soon once my diet does get updated. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Leave a comment down below if you guys want to see more videos like this of a full day of eating, or even just a day in the life of what I do throughout the day as a professional bodybuilder.